Hello and welcome back, everyone, to our Rocket Rabbit run of Omega Ruby Randomizer. And in this episode, we're actually finally going to leave Slateport after we have successfully shown off what Pokemon Commentaries are like, and us getting our next party member, our pretty ugly Purugly.
Arr. Oh yeah, Purugly. No, who said he's ugly? I think he's cute.
Yes, our Purugly is a flying and fighting type. This is one of the huge steroids that DexNav allows us to have, actually. Because we have access to DexNav, one of the big things that it will allow us to do is find Pokemon that have higher levels than they're supposed to have, such as this Purugly being level 23. And also, it will also allow us to see what kind of moves that they actually have from breeding. For example, this particular Purugly actually has Energy Ball attached to it.
Barrage.
Yes, Barrage.
Executor. Executor. Executor.
Execute, Cloud.
Executor. No, I thought Executor also could use Barrage. Well, so Executor could learn Barrage while it's an Execute and then have it himself, right?
Yes. But it's technically the signature move of Execute, to the point where almost no one else actually gets Barrage.
Yeah.
Mind you, Barrage is a terrible move, so I don't know why you'd want it.
So that your Octillery will be ready to unload the gunfire.
Octillery gets its own signature attack with Octazooka, and it's a much better move than Barrage.
Alright,
Pokefan Isabel. This is another one of the trainers that if you need cash, you can farm on, because she, being a Pokefan, has got a shitload of cash that she can throw.
Okay, so I take issue with a Pokemon that actually looks like a I almost finished that sentence, and then I realized that that's the whole point of Voltorb. So it leads one to believe that, well, these must be creatures that were influenced by humans that were trying to seek them out. That's why they took on evolutionary adaptations that made them more resistant and look more like Pokeballs that should not have Pokeballs thrown at them.
This is definitely true until you realize that the Pokeball is a relatively new invention occurring to the continuity. If you go deep into the lore, you start to realize that Pokemon that look like Pokeballs just shouldn't realistically be a thing. Oh,
but wait a sec. What if the reverse is true, and that this shape actually existed in nature before humans imitated it with Pokeball-shaped objects?
It did, though, at least as far as we can tell. The closest thing that we have to recreating the Pokeball in nature would be the apricorns, which is what the Pokeballs were originally based off. But a red-white apricorn doesn't technically exist. And even then, the apricorns that we were using had to be significantly modified through breakthrough technology in order to actually serve as Pokeballs.
Hell yeah, we got a stomping bird now. Those talons are gonna put some fucking weight on some dude's neck.
Psycho Shift. Not a move that we're
Psycho? Kakuna?
No, he's not doing the Lavender Town riff, people. I promise. He's doing the riff from, you know, the old Alfred Hitchcock movie. I can never remember how to pronounce his name.
It's been 60 years since moviegoers had collectively shit their pants in theaters. They've never seen the main character get killed off so early. It's terrified them.
Really? Because that rendition of Psycho is what? Like, according to you, it's 1960, but we most certainly had, you know, horror films before then, even if they were, you know, just exploratory monster films. So,
I'm talking about tropes and expectations in films at this time. See, people wanted to go and see Psycho in order to see the main character, in order to see the lead actress, basically. Suffice to say, I can't remember what her name is, and I feel terrible about that. But she was the main draw of the movie. She was top billed. next to Alfred Hitchcock's name. She was in it, and she's gorgeous. So that's why people went to go see the movie, because they wanted to see what it's about, why it's called Psycho. Little do they realize that the character whom they come to see dies halfway in the movie, so you're left sitting in your seat realizing that you're about to see the movie over again, but without the fucking reason why you came in the first place.
Huh. I didn't know that she ends up dying halfway through. I thought she died earlier on.
Yeah. I don't know. Put a spoiler alert on the episode, or just forget about it. Like if you don't know this about classic films,
dude. People who want to have seen Psycho have already seen Psycho.
Yeah. Not to mention that in the modern internet era, nobody gives a crap.
I mean, if this was, you know, a remake of Psycho that was like released last year, sure, maybe, but neither of us have seen that.
Do not go see the Vince Vaughn remake of Psycho. You will waste your time. But yeah, that's why I mean, it's history. I'm talking that this is how storytelling evolved in American folklore. Was people had to endeavor, they had to fuck up. People do have problems with Psycho, even though it's held as a classic.
All right, and this is the second fight with May that we've had, and this is the one that speedrunners all hate, because classically May at this point has got a Zubat, and if Zubat hits you with Supersonic, it pretty much kills your run.
Right. How long does the speedrun of this game take? Like 2.5 hours?
I don't remember. I think right now it's at 3. But, well, not of this game, no. Of Classic Gen 3. I think it's right now at 3, but I'd have to go check on Worcester to make sure, because I think Worcester still holds the record. Although, he might not actually have it anymore. I don't actually keep up with competitive Pokemon speedrunning.
I'm laughing at this creature. It says, "Yeah, beware! I am dangerous.
Also,
I am the destroyer of worlds."
Carablast is a very interesting Pokemon, because, as we explained last time, if not last time, then the time before, that he is part of a really gimmicky evolution with Shelmet. Whereas if you trade Shelmet and Carablast together, you get their evolved forms respectively. Carablast evolves into Excavalier, and Shelmet evolves into a
Psywave.
You remember Psywave? That's an attack that's been around since Gen 1.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure why it did only 15 units of damage, though.
Because Psywave does a random multiplier equivalent to your level.
A random multiplier that just happens to correspond to your level. Okay, Tyrant.
Yes, Tyrant. Tyrant is the fossil Pokemon. Is one of the 2 fossil Pokemon from Gen 6. Classically, he is Rock and Fire.
Fire, which makes him doubly weak against water, and probably a very terrible card to use up against Quagmire. Quagsire, rather.
I don't like Quagsire.
Quagsire, I'm not sure if Quagsire is paying attention.
Well, it's not actually his looks that I have an issue with. I actually think he's kind of adorable in how oblivious he looks. My problem with Quagsire specifically is that as a water ground type, he gets absolutely obliterated by grass moves, and he doesn't actually have the speed to be the ground type sweeper that I want him to be. Yeah,
ain't that a bitch? Is that Quagsire can learn Amnesia, but he cannot win a fight against a grass type. It's impossible.
It's not impossible. It's just that it's not going to happen.
I mean, you're better off trying to use Blizzard. Not to mention he's slow as crap.
We got the Dowsing Machine. The Dowsing Machine in this game is significantly better than most of its other incarnations, specifically because it's a headgear instead of a key item. Or rather, it is a key item, but it's a headpiece, so we can walk around normally.
Yay.
As we will show off right here. See, it looks like alien antennae.
I was gonna say like insect antennae, actually.
It's got the orbs on the end specifically, so.
Yes, Bee Canary. Why is Bee Canary first if the first thing he does is always use Drought?
Because I'm trying to get her some levels.
Ding, 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 ding.
We got a great ball.
But of course, because this is based on the Game Boy Advance game, which did not let you have Item Finder at the time, you had to use logical reasoning.
No, this is actually classically when you would get Item Finder in Gen 3.
But still, it behooves the player to at least keep in mind that if there's an empty space of grass for no apparent reason, you should try clicking A on that spot, because that will help you see if there's a hidden item there.
Yes, it will. A psychic
He's
Edward, and he's running up.
He's not actually levitating those balls. He just suspended them in midair and then took a picture of himself.
Ah,
Pichu.
Pichu is cute. Also, the only way to get Pikachu's signature attack,
Which is... Oh, apparently...
Volt
It's
Tackle.
Ghost type!
Yep, it is a Ghost type Pichu.
Because this Pichu has died. In order to come back and haunt you and say... Why?
Unfortunately, because Pichu is a baby stage Pokemon, it is like not real. It's got really low experience yield.
Yeah, experience yield and base stats, yeah. Was experience yield always tied to base stats, or are they just arbitrary numbers?
Yes and no. It's kind of both in a way. Experience yield is specifically tied to species, to be precise. But the more powerful species of Pokemon tend to give better experience.
Yeah, but
The exception, of course, are Chansey, Blissey, and Audino, who are pretty much just experience packages.
But Blissey has lots of health, though. Blissey is like one of the non-legendary queens of health.
Specifically, she has the highest base health of any Pokemon in the game.
Oh, even among legendaries.
Yes, even among legendaries. Like her only competition is a Gen 7 Pokemon that is useless otherwise. So. It's not fair. I like Guzzlord.
Guzzlord.
He's terrible, but I like
Fear the Guzzlord.
But if you were around during when Gen 3 was popular, you may know of a specific thing called Blissey bases, where you would use the wireless connectivity that the Game Boy Advance had in it in order to actually connect to the internet, and from there download someone's Blissey base. And they would, what a Blissey base was a secret base that had 6 trainers that only had Blisseys with Splash.
6 trainers? I thought you could only have one trainer in your game with a secret base.
Sorry, originally it was 1 trainer, and they had 6 Blisseys, and all of them had Splash.
All of them had Splash, so they couldn't hit. So all you had to do was just beat them up, get your XP. So right, and you can do that with any Pokemon.
Alright, this is us showing off the TM shop that has drastically changed. We now have Seed Flare, Muddy Water, Magnetic Flux, Attack Order Twister, Ring Out Smokescream, and Tail Slap.
It's a Twister. I only know what 2 of these attacks do. Smokescreen and Twister. The other ones are mysteries to me.
Well, we have Muddy Water on our Jinx right now. It's a water type move that has a chance to reduce accuracy.
Right.
Here is us going shopping because we are broke, so we need to sell some stuff in order to get other gems.
Has anybody ever found use for like the X defense or the X attack or any of that stupid crap?
Yes, I'll explain it in the next part.